All right, so are you ready to dive into some slasher goodness?
Let's do it.
Sweet. All right, so today we're going deep on Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Yeah.
You guys gave us a ton of info on this one,
Mm-hmm.
and we are so ready to break it all down.
Absolutely.
All the juicy kills, the memorable characters, and of course that twist,
Yeah.
the one you definitely won't see coming.
You know what's really interesting about this film is that it's not just another slasher flick.
Right.
This one is a sequel, picks
Yeah.
up right after the original Friday the 13th.
Oh, it does.
So that means while Mrs. Voorhees might be gone,
Oh, boy.
the nightmare at Camp Crystal Lake
Oh, yeah.
is far from over.
Speaking of nightmares,
Mm-hmm.
this film kicks off with a scene
Oh, yeah.
that is going to stay with you.
Definitely.
Remember Alice?
Yes.
The final girl
Mm-hmm.
from the first movie?
Yeah.
Well, let's just say her happy ending
Uh-oh.
doesn't last very long.
This opening scene is just brilliant.
Tell me about it.
It sets the tone perfectly.
Yeah.
We see Alice obviously still traumatized by her encounter with Mrs. Voorhees having these vivid nightmares. And it kind of makes you think maybe she's safe now,
Mm-hmm.
but then bam, she's taken out
Yeah.
in such a brutal way.
Yeah, and it's such a clear message from the filmmakers, right?
Oh, absolutely.
No one is safe.
No one
The stakes
higher than ever.
are higher than ever. I mean,
Yeah.
that ice pick through the head,
Oh my gosh.
talk about a statement.
Chilling.
Well, we need new victims, right?
Of course we do. This is a slasher film.
5 years later, we meet this new group
Fresh meat.
of counselor trainees.
Yep.
They're setting up shop near Camp Crystal Lake.
Oh no.
And the setting,
Classic.
isolated woodsy.
Tons of potential hiding places for a killer.
Yeah, it's like the perfect recipe for disaster, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
You can practically smell the pine needles and the impending doom.
Sulker there.
And then we're introduced to this new batch of characters.
I love the character. You know, they each fit perfectly into those classic horror movie archetypes.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the jock,
Yes.
the prankster,
Uh-huh.
the shy girl.
For sure. And of course,
Don't forget the...
the final girl.
Oh, yeah, she's got to be there.
Right? It's like they're checking off all the boxes.
It's like a checklist.
A slasher movie checklist.
Exactly. And you know who we can't forget?
Who?
Crazy Ralph.
Oh, Crazy
And
Ralph.
Ralph drunk.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
He pops up to warn everyone
Oh,
about the curse of Camp Crystal Lake.
classic.
He's ripped straight from a local legend,
Right.
adding the spooky folklore to the whole thing.
Oh, I love that.
He's that character
Oh, yeah.
you just know is going to end up face to face with the killer.
You know what he is? He is the quintessential harbinger of doom.
He is.
You see this archetype in so many horror films.
It's so true.
The audience is always left wondering,
Totally.
is he really crazy? Or does he know something we don't?
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to scream at the characters.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go into the basement.
Do it.
But they never listen.
Never.
And speaking of warnings that go unheeded,
Oh, here we go.
we get that campfire scene
Yeah.
where the legend of Jason Voorhees is told.
Oh, this is good.
Talk about tempting fate.
I know, right?
This scene is pure brilliance.
It really is.
It's not just exposition.
Nope.
It's a masterclass in suspense building.
You got it.
You've got that flickering firelight,
Uh-huh.
those hushed voices,
Yeah.
and a story about a drowned boy who comes back to seek revenge.
Scary stuff.
The filmmakers are practically daring you to look away.
It's true.
And it's not just about the story itself.
Right.
It's about the reactions of the counselors.
Oh, yeah.
You see this mix of fear,
Uh-huh.
skepticism,
Yeah.
and even morbid fascination on their faces
They can't look away,
as they listen.
but they're scared.
They're both drawn to
They're totally.
and repulsed
Yeah.
by the legend.
And that's what makes it so effective.
Yeah.
It creates this unsettling atmosphere of dread
Oh, yeah.
that hangs over the entire film.
It does. It does.
And you know what? As viewers, we know more than the characters.
Oh, we do.
And we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
We are waiting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
That is good stuff.
I love it. Okay, so the tension is building.
Yeah.
The legend has been told,
Uh-huh.
and then the killings begin.
Here we go.
Friday the 13th, Part 2, does not hold back on the gore.
Nope.
It's interesting, though.
What's that?
Even before we see Jason,
Yeah.
the film creates this amazing atmosphere of tension and suspense.
It does.
It's like a slow burn
Totally.
that keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, it's like they're using this technique called slow reveal.
What's that?
Well, they give you these little glimpses of the killer,
Oh, I see.
a shadowy figure here,
Yeah, yeah.
a bloody weapon there,
Yeah.
and it's not until later that we finally see Jason in all his glory.
In all his glory.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Keeps the audience guessing.
Oh, for sure.
Keeps them on edge,
Absolutely.
waiting for that next kill.
Okay, so speaking of kills,
Oh, yeah, here we go.
we got to talk about Scott.
Oh, poor Scott.
That scene with him hanging upside down.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, come on.
It's brutal.
Brutal.
What do you think the filmmakers were going for there?
I don't know. It's like a combination of things, right?
Yeah.
First of all,
Uh.
Jason is clearly not messing around.
This is a statement kill.
Yeah. He is not some clumsy killer
Yep.
stumbling around in the dark.
He's got a plan.
He's strong.
He is strong.
He's methodical,
Uh-huh.
and he seems to be enjoying himself.
Oh, yeah. He's having a good time.
And second,
Yeah.
it just plays on like our deepest fears,
Really.
being helpless and trapped.
Nobody wants that.
I mean, it's a universal nightmare.
It really is.
That scene will stay with you.
It will.
But, you know, amidst all the blood and chaos,
Yeah.
there's one character who really stands out.
Who's that?
Ginny.
Oh, Ginny, she's great.
She's not your typical damsel in distress.
No, she's not.
She's smart.
She is.
She's resourceful,
Uh-huh.
and she really gets psychology.
She does. You know what she is?
Yeah.
She's the classic final girl.
Yeah,
But she's so much more than that.
she is.
This girl is using her brain to survive.
Exactly. It's not just luck or strength.
Right.
It's her intellect that's keeping her alive.
That's what I love about her.
Me too. And that leads us to one of the most fascinating parts of the film.
Oh, what's that?
Ginny's understanding of Jason.
Fascinating.
She's never met him before,
Right.
but she's able to piece together his motivations,
Mhm.
his weaknesses, and ultimately how to defeat him.
That's incredible.
I know what's so brilliant about this
Tell me.
is that it elevates Jason beyond just a mindless killing machine,
Right. He's not just some monster.
right? He's a product of his environment,
Yeah.
shaped by his past traumas.
Yeah.
And Ginny sees that, and she
Yeah.
uses it to her advantage.
Brilliant.
Remember when she puts on Pamela Voorhees' sweater?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That scene is so intense.
It is.
She's basically tapping into Jason's warped sense of family.
It's like she's trying to mother him.
Yeah. And for a moment, she turns the tables on him.
Crazy.
It's a risky move,
So risky.
but it just shows how smart and brave Ginny is.
She's amazing.
She confronts the monster
Yeah.
on a psychological level,
Not just physical.
not just physical.
I love that.
And for a moment,
Uh-huh.
you see this flicker of humanity in Jason.
Do you really?
It's terrifying and heartbreaking at the same time.
Wow.
You realize he's not just pure evil.
Right.
He's a deeply disturbed person,
Yeah.
driven by forces he doesn't understand.
So sad.
And just when you think Ginny and Paul have escaped,
Oh, no.
bam,
Here we go.
Jason bursts through the window.
What?
That ending.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
I know.
It's not just a jump scare.
It's more than that.
It leaves the audience with so many questions.
Like,
Was the Ginny okay?
yeah.
Did Jason survive?
Uh-huh.
And the big one, what does this mean for the future of Camp Crystal Lake?
Oh man, I can't wait to find out.
That ending just leaves you wanting more.
Oh, totally. It's a classic.
It's like the filmmakers knew exactly how to mess with our minds.
They did.
Friday the 13th, Part 2,
Yeah,
it just delivers on every level.
absolutely.
The whole kills the suspense, and of course the
Yeah.
introduction of Jason as we know him.
The legend begins.
The legend begins.
It's a film that really gets under your skin, you know?
It does. It stays with you.
It makes you think about things.
It does.
The nature of evil,
yeah.
the cycle of violence.
Yeah. It's pretty deep stuff.
It is.
You know, one thing that always stood out to me about this film
What's that?
is how they use the setting.
Oh, yeah.
Camp Crystal Lake.
Creepy.
It's not just a backdrop.
Right.
It's like a character itself.
You know, you're right.
It's
The isolation.
the darkness, the looming presence of the lake.
Ugh, it's like you can feel the history.
You can feel the weight of the past
Yeah.
pressing down on the characters.
It's like the woods themselves are haunted.
Oh, totally. By the memory of Jason and his mother.
It's heavy stuff.
Speaking of Jason,
Yeah.
what do you think makes him such a horror icon?
Oh, that's easy.
Why is he still so relevant?
I think it's because he taps into something primal.
What do you mean?
He represents those deep-seated fears we all have.
Like what?
The fear of the unknown,
Okay.
the unstoppable force,
Yeah.
The boogeyman in the shadows.
Oh, yeah, he's the ultimate boogeyman.
He is a reminder that death can come at any moment,
And in the most unexpected places.
especially in idyllic settings.
Yeah, like a summer camp.
Exactly.
He's a true villain.
He is.
You knock him down, but he always comes back.
He always gets back up.
And that mask,
Ugh.
so simple,
Yeah.
yet so terrifying.
Quick,
It
brilliant.
hides his face.
The
Yeah.
hate makes him seem even more inhuman.
You don't know what he's thinking.
Exactly. It's a blank slate for our nightmares.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think it's time to give Friday the 13th Part 2 our official rating.
All right, let's do it.
What do you say?
You know, taking everything into account,
Mm.
the suspense, the gore, the psychological elements,
Yeah,
the iconic killer,
he's iconic.
and its impact on the horror genre.
It's a classic.
I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars.
I'm right there with you.
Solid.
This is a must-see for any horror fan.
Absolutely.
It's got everything you want.
It does.
Memorable kills, likable characters.
Some not so likable.
Okay, some not so likable characters.
Yeah.
And of course, a truly terrifying villain.
You can't go wrong.
And it leaves you thinking
Uh-huh.
long after the credits roll.
What does Jason represent, really?
Good question.
What are we most afraid of?
And how do we confront the darkness, both inside us and in the world around us?
That's the real question, isn't it?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Okay.
we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Friday the 13th, Part 2.
We had a blast.
We did. And remember to like, comment,
Yeah.
and subscribe
Please.
for more deep dives into the world of film
And beyond.
and beyond. See you next time.